Yeah.
Yes. And we are back. We got a great one. We had to actually rush to turn on these microphones because we was getting into the shits. Oh man, here we go.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yes. The next 60 minutes, don't go nowhere for the next 60 minutes. I'll say that.
Listen, real talk, true talk.
Yes. I see that it's holding your phone, but that's also your water too.
I saw that, but I was like, you know what? I might not be thirsty too fast.
Okay. I was going to say, if we need another one, that's fine. Yes. We are back. This is another episode of the Dope Individuals Only podcast. I'm Erik, the host, and I'm up here with another dope individual. Please introduce yourself.
It's your girl Ella with Do It For The You.
We got a Allentown legend over here who's from the Bronx, actually, which I just learned today.
Yes, sir. I'm not originally from Allentown. I do reside in Walnutport, Pennsylvania, but I service in Allentown. It's more relatable for me.
Hey, you do a lot of great work. I don't remember when I found you on Instagram, but you popped up on my For You page. I follow a lot of the smaller organizations, and you guys just popped up out of nowhere. And I've been following you guys for a while, from you guys doing the toy drives to the after-school programs. It's incredible. It's incredible the work that you do. So I want to say thank you on behalf of the somebody in the community.
I appreciate you. I was like, oh yeah, I'm not even going to holler at him yet. I'm going to wait, because I like for people to come to me in the sense of, yo, you've been doing your thing.
Right.
I've been watching you.
Right.
I was like, I'm not going to reach out to him. I'm going to wait for him to come to me and be like, yo, I need you in my podcast.
I feel the same way. And I was like, when I seen you that day at the community meeting, I was like, all right, today's the day. I was like, I'm no longer going to wait. I was like,
yes, you were at the International Cultural Festival. You was doing a live podcast
yes,
there. I was like, man, you're everywhere. I'm seeing you.
I try to stay visible, but I like visibly invisible. I try to be like, I like to be in the mix, but out the way. I don't know.
But this is definitely an amazing platform that you have here.
Well, thank you.
I truly appreciate it, and it's very noble of you to even highlight certain people that are not literally highlighted as much or are literally putting in the dirty work.
Yeah.
Getting their hands dirty.
That's what it's about.
The behind the
scenes.
scenes.
Yes. Everybody thinks you got to be famous or make $1 million or whatever to be on a podcast. And I'm like, yo, there's everyday average people doing extraordinary work.
Absolutely.
And that's what this is all about. It's just giving people that platform to let people know, like, yo, I'm doing some dope shit over here. Y'all should pay attention.
Check me out.
Yes, sir. All right, man. So I want to kick things off. We were having a great conversation behind the scene, and we were talking about culture. We were talking about youth sports for the people who don't know, but we were talking about youth sports, and you were basically saying how sometimes the coaches in youth sports, like, they're not thinking about the fact that these kids have school and they also play sports.
Correct.
And I was saying from a personal perspective that it's the culture. And I say the culture meaning as in, I'll speak for myself, in the culture I grew up in, Black culture.
Okay.
Where in many aspects we feel like there's only a couple ways to experience success. And I know for myself, it was through sports. It was through football. But I remember getting out of school, running home, doing my homework quick, and then I'm at the field from 4:30 to about damn near 8 o'clock, you know? And nobody really said anything about it.
And that's okay. We want you to live on that structure.
Okay.
That is okay, because I'm one of those parents that my child needs discipline, especially a boy.
Yes.
Girls, of course, we hard on independence. We want them to be rock on solid. We don't want no man to walk all over them.
Of course.
But also men, when it comes to the boys out here, we want to treat them structure, and we want to make sure that they know priority. They know about what to wake up and what to go to sleep.
Yes.
So it's like it's a balance of a structured calendar that they have on a daily basis, and we live by that. The same way you live by that every day. You wake up every day. You have your daily duties.
Yes.
We want to make sure that we mold our children to have that same type of structure.
Of course.
So I'm okay with strong, hard discipline. I'm even okay with the cussing. Go ahead. Tell that boy you better move your ass. All
break
that.
the foot off in his ass.
Listen, if you see me on the field, I am no joke. That's why I say I don't need a mic. I don't need a microphone. They call me the cowbell girl. They call me the cooler lady. Whatever it is.
You got a bunch of nicknames.
The snack lady.
No, that's what's up.
And that's okay, because that's what makes me unrecognizable.
Yes.
That's fine. I'm all cool with that. But it's a balance to certain things because you don't understand the trauma the child's going to before they even got to the field. So what you're delivering to them, it can be the same exact thing that they be getting from their real father on a daily basis, and there's no. Where's the compassion? Where is the understanding? Where is the leniency? But again, nobody said, to go soft and like that. Because again, discipline, it needs to be fully enforced to these kids. Because the generation today is completely a little out of pocket, a little out of control, a little out of my element.
It is. I have young children, and I know that I let my children get away with shit I would never even try when I was a kid.
Yo, I used to tell these kids, y'all got it so good.
Easy. So easy. I seen a video on Instagram. It was like, today's problem with today's generation of parents. And I was, and like the video pauses for a second. And he's like, y'all have no follow through energy. like when back in the day when your parents said, I'm gonna whoop your ass later. It wasn't, I'm tired, I don't got the energy, I forgot. Like, you got your ass whooped.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. Like, there's been times where like I lack in follow through energy.
Listen, I think what's so crazy is I'm the no, and my son's dad is the yes.
Okay.
So you see how the opposite definitely changed.
Well, he's a boy also, so I get it. Well, no, wait.
I am the tough mom. He's still a mama's boy. Don't get me.
I was about to say, he should be getting the freelancing from you, essentially.
No, he got the freelancing because he completes his commitments.
Okay.
So there's a certain agreement that.
Yes. We applaud that.
Yes, he completed his commitments. So even through the pandemic, my son has maintained an honor roll status.
We're going to hit another one. That's what I'm talking about.
So,
we love it.
And he's only 12. And through the pandemic, remind you, he was 9, 10, 11, 12.
Tough time.
So it was definitely a tough time. But we had to, as a parent, had to stay commitment with our children as well because my son did not know about laptops. Mm-hmm. My son did not know how to monitor and answer questions within a spreadsheet. So these are things that it was trusting the process that we, as a parent, had to stay committed. And that's where a lot of our parents lack of. Staying committed and being consistent with what you want your child to do, because it will prolong through time that what you don't finish, it definitely will grow upon you that later on through adulthood, you're going to be an incomplete person. And I would never want my child to be an incomplete person, whether if it's something that you don't like or something that you do like, especially what you don't like. Even if you don't like it, experience it. Yeah. This is why I do it for the youth. It's about experiencing. Mm-hmm. Experiencing whatever obstacle, whatever challenge, whatever struggle that you are going through, at least you went throughout the whole process.
And you tried. Yeah.
You completed it. You can actually give me feedback. Because I would have want your feedback if you only did a week.
That's a fact.
What is that?
Yeah. You got to
When did you pick up off
it.
that?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I actually saw that hands-on when I was working with Bez and
shout out to Bez Music out there.
Yes. So they were doing studio with Movement Move Media.
Shout out to Movement Moves Media.
Yes,
as well.
shout out to Movement Move. We were doing a pilot for studio and engineering. And
was this through PNLV?
Yes, this is with Promise Neighborhoods.
I'm familiar with this. Yeah.
And
Macville was also part of it. Shout out to Macville.
Shout out to Macville, which I'm still waiting for the demo. Okay,
you better get on it.
So we did a pilot where a lot of our kids, different cultural, Spanish, and blacks, and we wanted to see, how entertaining it would be to be learning a little bit of behind the scenes of what a DJ is, learning behind the scenes of where the music comes from, where the instrumental behind movies and episodes and your favorite shows come up. How do you develop those background sounds? Yeah. So you see how intrigued I am about it, but that's not for me. So
it is an art to figure out like the right music to go with the crying scene.
It's more to it.
There's a lot of nuance.
So again, you're trying to balance I see the kids always on their phones. I see they want to be content creators now. They want to be influencers. So why not learn the behind the scenes of what develops quality? Yeah. So this is what I introduced to them. Now through the beginning of the course, yes, we had a full force of class. Through time, you saw the class dying down.
It dwindles, yeah.
Like, because it's not for me. Yeah. But why not finish it, though? Why not complete it? And this is what I was, like, literally gasping a lot in their heads, like, trying to mold it in their heads. Finish any object not object, but finish every project that you are entering. And then you give feedback as whether it was for you or not for you.
What do you say to somebody that says, if I know it's not for me, it's a waste of my time?
It's not a waste of your time if you haven't experienced it.
Okay.
I say that because every day in life is about an experience. Mm-hmm. You can't tell me it didn't work for you because you have no negatives among it. Like you have nothing to say like why it was a negative. You're only going by either what you heard or again, it's mainly by what you heard in reality.
What you felt in that moment.
In that moment, it just wasn't for you. It's not directed for my path, but it might not work now, but it will definitely work later.
That reminds me of a conversation I just had with my wife. We went to this one church. I'll shout them out because it is a good church, but it wasn't my style. And we went to Life Church, and like I guess we went on a day where it was a little bit more relaxed. They didn't have no preacher there. I was like, this doesn't really feel like church to me. But my wife was digging it, so she kept going back. And I was telling her, I was like, I'm not sure I want to go back to the church. I was like, you know what? I tried coleslaw twice. I guess I'll try the church out again. And maybe we just went on a bad day. So I get what you mean. Like as far as like, you got to complete it. You got to give it more than just like that one initial invitation that you had, that one little experience, because something might change. Something might be a little bit more entertaining the next time around, the next class or something like that.
You never know. You might even start getting involved, and all of a sudden you become an instructor, or you never know where it might lead. Yeah. And again, as us as adults, we want to make sure that we pass that on to our children, because I want to know that my child knows that, it wasn't for mommy, but mommy finished it. At least she finished it.
It definitely says something to kids where like you start and don't finish something. That's one thing I'm really big on. Like I know, like I'm not the perfect father, but there's one thing I always tell my son, like if you're involved in something, you got to finish it. You have to, because you learn something about yourself along the process. Even if you don't enjoy the experience, you learn something about yourself. You know what I mean? Just to push through times of where like it might not be as enjoyable. Not everything about life is enjoyable.
No. I mean, they say work was going to be enjoyable, but do you wake up every day liking what you do?
I be tired. I be like, oh God.
You know, I gotta do a little prayer before I come out. Like, Lord Jesus, give me patience.
Listen, I've been praying a lot more these days. It is tough work. It is tough work.
It is, and especially in the work that I've worked in my daily life is we deal with a lot of personalities. You deal with a lot of emotional, a lot of mental. And that can break you personally. So I try to be as strong as possible, especially for other mothers that are going through the same thing, but maybe even worse. So, like I said, I always told myself I'm a walking testimony because I'm still living in it.
Okay.
I ain't free from nothing.
I did want to ask you about that. What do you mean by, because what you put on your questionnaire, I want to get this right because I was very intrigued by it. What does it mean to be a walking testimony?
A walking testimony is basically, I understand your struggles, I live in your struggles, and I'm still living in the struggle. I still live in the struggle to make sure that my rent is paid on a daily basis. I did go in through a huge budget cut getting into the nonprofit industry because I felt like I was living in my purpose. So that was like a wake-up call that I'm not doing this for the money. Yeah. I'm doing this because I know what it was like not to have nobody help me in a time of my needs. Still, to this day, I'd be like, who's going to help me? Who can I call? Yeah. But as long as I know that I give a sense of relief for myself, that I can be there for somebody else that's probably even going through worse struggles than me and even older than me. That's the...
How do you continue to give when you have a lack? Because that's not really easy. And most people are like, I can't help nobody until I can help myself. But yet you aren't exactly where you would want to be. But I mean, shit, you run an entire organization and you help hundreds of fucking kids in the city of Allentown. How do you make the time for it?
That's for the grace of God. I really don't. And I put a lot of my son to as well, that he sacrifices a lot of his time because he could have been playing with his team in his school.
Yeah, I be seeing them in all the videos.
He could be in a lot of things, but I want him to experience all this. I want him to witness what I do on a personal basis. I talk to him enough. I communicate a lot with my son and to give him a better understanding of why I'm doing it. Like, listen, I'm doing this, like, plenty of times he'd be like, I want to pay for my school. I'm like, I understand that, but there's no one's going to be home. He don't get bused no more, so he has to walk through farms. So it's a lot. I'd be like, you know what? No, let's just come to...
Yeah, because you're not even in the city of Allentown. I was thinking, like, Allentown's not that big.
He goes to Northern Lehigh.
And then you said farms. And I'm like, holy shit.
Up my way, yes. We have a milk farm. We have a house, a horse shelter where they sit at your horse. It is a different environment, but it was an environment for me, an environment away from what I was already brought up. Because if, excuse me, if I would have been still living in Allentown, I would have felt like I was still living in the Bronx.
Really? You think so?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like at times I'm walking through Flatbush. Like you be like, and then you go through certain areas.
See these zombies outside of 7-Eleven.
You feel me? And that's still in the hood. What's crazy is that I literally visit my mom. My mom got baptized recently.
Hey,
so shout out to my mom.
Big shout out to the moms.
Shout out to my moms. It's never too late to give yourself to God. It's never too late to to put yourself in a position in life where you want to devote yourself and accept all your sins. And I feel like
do better.
It's unfortunate that it had to land where she's dealing with health issues, but it's never too late.
Yeah.
You, no matter how old you are, your time will come whenever you feel like you're ready.
Yep.
And that's passed down to the kids. Whenever you're ready to meet this triumph, meet this struggle that you're willing to go through, you want to give them time for them to do it for themselves, not to be forced by anything. I don't give my son any pressure that he doesn't want to do. I let him experience whatever he wants to do. I'm supporting, and that's what I try to show to my other kids as well. I'm going to support you whatever you want to do.
That's very refreshing to hear, especially because you're a sports mom. And we see it all the time where it's like the parents are almost vicariously living through their children. Like almost like living out their failed dreams through their kids.
My son is a star, so I'm a star too.
Yeah, that's my baby. Like I get it, you proud, but come on, like this is his moment. This is her moment.
When my son was at Central Catholic Mini Vikings, we were there for 3 years.
Boo! Boo!
Shout out to them for the beginners.
Listen,
I've definitely had an experience with them. But that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
But it was an experience for me as a first-time football mom. And in reality, that's where Do It For the Youth started.
Down there.
Okay. It all started with one of my boys. Shout out to him. Shout out to Nathan Salazar.
Shout out.
He was playing for Central Catholic Mini Vikings, and it all started with him. When he came up to me one day out of random and asked for a ride home. And I remind you, he ain't know me from a hole in the wall. So it was
you could just sense the vibes though.
Like I appreciated that. And then I got so cool with his mom. His mom is amazing. His mom, Maria. Shout out to Maria.
Big shout out.
She is amazing. And, through the streets can definitely put you into peer pressure, into putting you into spaces or putting you around people that are not for you.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
And this is where Do It For the Youth comes in, where we want to bring you into an environment, bring you within a circle that all have the same triumph. They want the same goal, which is trying to be something for themselves.
Yeah, everybody rolling in the same direction.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you are who you hang. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I wanted to.
I tell my son that shit all the time.
You are who you hang.
Yeah. Who you hanging? Show me your circle. I'll show you exactly who you are. That's
exactly.
a fact.
So when you put them around other kids that are going into skills drills, dedicated into the camps, going A1 into their schools, because again, school is priority for me, and I say that.
Damn, I don't think I've ever given so many applauses.
Fuck the sports. And when it comes to school, sports is a pause. Especially when it comes, because if
you're not doing right over here, you can't participate in this.
I'm sorry, I can't.
This is priority. That's not a right. Football's not a right. Sports is not a right. I tell my kids that shit all the time.
Especially when you're playing outside of school.
Yeah.
And then it's like when you get hurt, your career's over. Your school trials are over. Like, and it sucks. But so that's because you devoted your time on a field that in reality it benefits you in your skills, but it doesn't benefit you academically.
Yeah.
It doesn't benefit you with your knowledge. Knowledge within the sport.
Yeah.
But you're still failing on your classes.
I do think it does have other benefits. I mean,
absolutely.
It's not knowledgeable, but
it's more of a mental and physical.
I wouldn't say that either. I would say, because football, I played football all my life. I learned some of my most, foundational pieces of me through the game of football. How to be a good teammate.
Yep.
How to know how to take an L.
Yeah.
How to know how to win correctly.
So it's more of a mental and physical. I feel like for me, it's more of a mental and physical, and of course, a certain bond. Yeah. Because again, you're not on your own. Ain't no I in team. Mm-hmm. So I feel like we celebrate together, we fail together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We come back harder and stronger together.
Facts.
And that is the main goal. But that should be for everything. It shouldn't just be for the field.
For sports.
The same way when you're in the military,
I got you.
when you in the military, they mold you so now you at ease everywhere you go. Sometimes at times you can't even help it.
Yeah.
You just want to salute everywhere you go.
Yeah,
but
you carry yourself a certain way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as an athlete, you care about yourself. And this is why, big shout out to Nick Dawkins.
I don't know who it is. Shout out.
Nick Dawkins, he plays for Penn State, and he does the Nick Dawkins Foundation, which he does the book bag giveaway, and he also partners with 5 Star Heart and Lehigh Valley Health, where they also do the Skills and Drills camp.
Okay.
Which is amazing. Why? Because they collaborate with other Penn State athletes or other college athletes that are in the football field that are willing to give their time. And this is why I respect fully athletes that make something of themselves and come back to the community without no charge.
Agreed.
You just shouldn't charge anybody to help them develop a mentality or the skills that you use for yourself to develop where you go.
And even if you do charge a fee, I don't think it should be $150.
I mean,
like I like
to real shit. It shouldn't be no fee at all. Like, you go into the park with your son, that's like fucking 2 hours that you done spent that we're about to do the same thing with 50 others.
Yeah.
So, like, what is the difference? Everybody, I feel like for me, your image coming back to your community is everybody is your child.
What about if it's not you? What if it's not your community though? Like it makes a big difference. Like, all right, well, you say Saquon Barkley, like he's from this area, he's from Whitehall, he's from the 610. But like, let's just say it's another like Eagles athlete who's not from Pennsylvania, but he's putting on a camp down here, or something like that.
It's just, what's your motive? It's like, what are you doing this camp for? Is it really for the people in the that's sponsoring it, or is it really for you because you generally want to do it? Because sometimes some people
is important.
Exactly, because some people do things off of the image, off of credibility, off of I just want my hands on it just to make sure my name is popping out there.
Publicity looks good.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, it's like, what is your motive? Because in reality, like I said, at times people don't question me, like, Ello, what are you doing this for? It's not paying you. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it for the results. Why? Because I created a solution to a problem that no one wanted to touch.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm doing it for the result. I appreciate that. For real, most of the endeavors I take on are pro bono as well. Like, I make my money a different way. I don't do a lot of the things that I do for the sake of money. And the biggest thing is most people don't got it.
I don't got it, okay? I don't got it, all right? I'm not rich. These kids be thinking I'm rich, but that's because the little things, you don't have to be fucking rich.
No, you don't.
To show kindness, to show compassion,
to show love,
understanding, leniency to certain situations. And when I say certain, it's certain because you be like, damn, parents, what's up? What's wrong with y'all? What's going on? You've been in these years more than me. You was born way before me.
It's a learning process for real. And that curve is sharp. That curve is sharp as hell.
I mean, it's like a gun with no safety. It gets real. It gets really real. And then I'm to be really honest, these kids are going through it.
I want to talk, now that we're about to get into the parents and the kids a little bit, I want to talk about the idea of gentle parenting. Because this is new. This is a new term. This is a new philosophy amongst parenting. Like, you got my grandmother's generation didn't play that shit. My grandmother's mother didn't play that shit. My mother didn't play that shit.
Yeah.
But this is the first generation where it's like mental health is actually being addressed.
There's a lot of trauma.
Childhood trauma is being addressed. Support within the household is actually there. Like, this is the first generation of people, like my generation, of like, I've never seen more fathers in the household.
Yo.
Like when I was growing up, nobody had their dads. If there were dads, they were stepdads.
Correct.
These were men who showed up and just decided that they were going to take on this responsibility. But today, like, all my friends got kids. We're all active fathers.
And that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's literally like in the span of 2 decades, we've pretty much changed an entire culture. So, but this is also the generation where it's like, we've also seen these kids run a little rampant because we're trying to be understanding of all these things that our parents might have missed.
But that's what happens when you have a child young. I mean, I had my child at 21.
I had 19.
I had him at 21, but I was still treated like if I had him at 15.
Okay.
So it was like, okay, I guess it wasn't the right time still. I still got kicked out. So it's like, and remind you, I was a freshman in college. I was working in a bakery. So it wasn't like I didn't have nothing together.
Right.
It was just the sense of my mom felt I was destroying myself.
So she kicked you out. That was the response.
That was the response.
That's a response for a lot of people. Like that. I mean,
but it's what
I'm
you do
30.
with that kick out.
Yes. It's how you respond to that.
It's how do you respond to that kick out.
For sure. But that's like, even that, like, all right, a great example is my girlfriend the one night, we had a party at my house. We drank a little too much. I know, we were teenagers and we were drinking. It's probably not a good thing. But she ended up not going home. I didn't let her go home because I didn't want to walk her home from the north side of Allentown to the south side of over there by Mac Pool. And she stayed the night. And then when she got home in the morning, her bags were on the porch.
Yikes.
At 16.
Yikes.
And naturally, you know, I went home and I asked my mom, could she live with me? Because her mom kicked her out. And my mom let her stay. You know, I'm grateful for that. But like,
shout out to those moms like that though, because my mom was not like that.
I had the cool mom.
Nah, my mom was she's very campo-ish. Like, she's from San Juan, Puerto Rico. And she's part of like the family books. Like, my mom only had 2 men in her life. So I understood structure when it came to her. Like, she was the type that a way to a man's heart is to his stomach. So you better know how to fucking cook. I'm like,
you know how to cook?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A lot of these generations today, honey. Yeah. Listen, the noodles and noodles ain't it.
It ain't cutting it. It ain't cutting it.
Them TV dinners ain't it either. And ravioli ain't it.
YouTube University at the very least. Y'all better figure it out and fast, because we do like to eat.
So it was in that generation that we had. Women were the ones cleaning. My mom had 5 kids, and it was a 2-bedroom apartment on a 14th floor in the projects, Jane Addams projects.
I can't believe y'all walk up all them steps. You know, if y'all elevate it out.
Listen, it be brutal.
Yeah, I know. Imagine going grocery shopping and it's out of order today.
Been there, done that. When the blackout, that blackout for New York City was deep.
Oh my God.
And you know what it is? When you have 5 ACs in 1-bedroom apartment.
Oh my God. Yeah, that heat is rising for real.
The fuses was beaming.
But wait, I want to go back to the gentle parenting.
So yes, I'm not much of a gentle parent.
Okay.
Sometimes my son's dad he feels that I don't let my child live his childhood. His childhood ways. I'm like, what is that? What is a child? I'm like, what is a child? I didn't grow up with childhood way. Why? Because every day we had something to do. And then I was very involved in my church, so it was very it was molded to me to do things for community. Like, I feel like at a young age, I was singing with my church. I grew up with the gospel. I went in the gospel with the Stevenson High School, with the gospel choir, within the school, with high school. So it was like, it was passed down to me. That's why once upon a time, I was an artist too. That's a whole nother story.
Whole nother story.
That's a whole nother story, and why I'm living the nightlife again.
You're in the choir. A lot of great musicians started out in the church.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely,
I understand.
Absolutely, but I am also an example of when you have a child in life, and there's doors that were available to you are no longer available to you when a child comes into the world.
Yeah.
Because I was warned. It was like, girl, no boyfriends, no babies. Okay. We are going to the future with this.
You got a boyfriend, you got a baby. I mean, 21 is like you're a full blown adult at that point. Like,
that's what I said.
You could die for this country. You can legally go out and buy alcohol if you want. Like, you could drive a vehicle. You could do it all.
That's what I thought it was going to go easy on me, but no, life didn't go easy on me. The shelter system. That's another thing too. What I say about my walking testimony, and why gentle parenting can't be too much, because I've seen so much rough shit like literally happen. I'm like, nah. And this is why at 12 years old, my son knows how to cook. My son knows how to whip up a breakfast.
That's what I'm talking about.
My son done made me breakfast. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to prepare. Because there are times as a single parent, there are times that I have cameras in my house because of him. Because of the timing, you know, at times I would have to leave work at 5 o'clock. My son is already home by 3 or 4 o'clock.
Right.
So I have to wait. He has to wait for me. So instead of waiting for me, we'll be on FaceTime. I said, marinate that meat.
Yeah, show you how to cook it up.
Put all that in there. Taste it. Make sure it ain't too salty. If it ain't too salty for you, it's good for me. Because remember, you're my biggest critic.
Yeah, you're the picky one.
You're my biggest critic. So, so that's how we started. We started with maintaining the independence. Every child should know the basics among themselves.
I agree.
When it comes to hygiene, when it comes to caring for yourself, because I'm gonna give you, the prices are going up. And I'm sorry, you fellas, your haircuts, $40 a head is
right?
crucial if you have 5 kids.
This shit. We got 3, and there's 3 boys in the house. Myself, well, not a boy, but myself and my 2 sons, and going to the barbershop, we spend like $70, $80.
It's crucial, and that's just now. So by the time they turn 12, that $10 cut.
I'm gonna learn how to cut hair before then. Fuck that. I be thinking about it now. I got some trimmers in the house. I'll do like my little bit of facial hair stuff, because it is that crazy.
It gets
sometimes.
that serious. It's that serious, and I have respect for all barbers. I mean, I have no problem with it, but
I'm going there if I got a job interview. I'll tell you them. I'm not cutting my own shit. Listen, you guys are necessary, all right? You are.
Listen, I'm trying to now collab with my son's barber and be like, okay, we need to start the barbering school.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Some lessons up in here, just the basics. Gives a nice little trim. Like the lineup is the most important. Why? Because that's somewhat when you look more roughest when you don't have a lineup. Mm-hmm. So something basic, as well as females, when it comes to the feminine stuff, when it comes to things that they need to properly know amongst themselves. These are the things that we should know, and a lot of our girls today don't know the common things, and that's because it's not passed down to them from knowledge at home.
Now, there's a big part of the population I've been seeing for years where they're talking about like, oh, bring home education classes back to school. And what role do you think education should serve in these things? Because there was a home ed class where they taught you cooking, where they taught you.
I went to health class where we did put a condom in a banana.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but you see, and this is where in the generation pull things out of context. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like the generation on what we thought was important, they blew it up and feel like, oh, that's not a necessity. So we got budget cuts. We gotta cut some stuff. So budget cut did really took a.
It's always the important shit too.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's important. Like sexual education is vastly important.
About what you get when you have multiple at one time. Mm-hmm. What happens when, especially, it's not only semen is not the only thing that will actually give a baby. The before and too also can make you have a baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just certain things that, yes, it definitely needs to be taught. It definitely needs to be highly enforced. But a lot of things got cut off, like as well as a signature. Can you write in script your name?
Yeah.
Because a lot of these kids
they can't tell time on a clock.
I had to do a whole lesson on the big hand and little hand.
Oh my gosh. The way they teach multiplication is absolutely retarded in my opinion. They got me relearning how to do something I know how to do in my fucking head.
Is that how we used to do it?
No, not at all. There's so many extra steps. I'm just like, bro, you guys are, I don't even know how we're going to go.
I be feeling like, yeah, you guys are setting our kids to fail.
To fail. That's how it feels to me. And I'm like, bro, don't do it that way. And then my son's like, Dad, if I don't do it this way and I don't show the work this way, I'm not going to get credit for this.
Correct.
And I'm just like.
We have to adapt. Unfortunately, we have to adapt to what's new to them. But then again, we'd give them the easier route. Like, work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Like, so... I don't know. These teaching methods are completely different from what I've grown up to be. Like, but I'm not gonna lie. Again, we're in 2 different dynamics because you're in Allentown School District. My son is in Northern Lehigh. So their school districts are completely different. And I'm not gonna lie, to be completely transparent, this is why I don't want to move. Or they'd be like, oh, why don't you just come to Allentown, be closer, to be easier for you? I'm not doing it for me. I'm not coming to Allentown, I'm doing it for my son. Why? Because his education's been A1 since we've been out here. And I know for a fact if I were to put him in an environment where he would be easily distracted or provoked to do something that I know that it would lead to anything.
Yeah.
No.
He's still a child.
He's still a kid,
Yeah. I mean, listen, me and my wife are very involved. I mean, we live here in Allentown, so we have to go through some of the ills of being in the Allentown School District. But
to be on some real shit, I didn't know you had a little daycare. Like, did you guys know you had a daycare? Like, I'm like, oh shit, this is dope.
Thank you.
So I'm like, okay, so he's really, really involved. Like, he's really involved.
The whole next generation is what we pour our time and efforts into.
Now, but going back to the parenting, I feel like a lot of our parents need to be more involved, be more engaged.
I agree.
Be more decisive with better decision making. Even more better decision making for themselves as individuals.
I agree.
Because sometimes it's not for your liking, but it's for their liking. And sometimes you won't do things because it's not your liking.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not for you, it's for them. As well as being punctual to certain things. Like, why would you constantly keep making this child late? This child is working on their image, but because they're more on top of being with you and they're depending on you, it all leads on to passed down stuff. So
Yeah.
if I wasn't dependent on you, how can I be a dependable person?
I agree.
If my own dad couldn't be dependable on me, how is that? How can I follow something that I wasn't sponged into? Like,
Yeah. I had Jeannie Garcia on the podcast a couple years ago.
Shout out to Jeannie.
Yeah, big shout out. And we talked about like how do we make impact on the youth, and she was like, model it.
Mm-hmm. Be better examples.
Yeah, model it.
I'm real big on practice what you preach. Because again,
my mom used to always say,
practice what you preach.
Don't do what I do what I say.
Yeah.
That was the generation I came from.
Yes.
Like, don't do as I do as I say.
This was also at my son's yearbook, and that's because I told this to him every day when he went on the bus. Be a leader, not a follower.
That's a fact.
And that's because on the bus, you get to really
see
find your strengths on the bus.
Yeah. The bus is like pre-war.
I swear to God, the bus will test your patience, will test your strengths, and your abilities of what you want to do first. Mm-hmm. Like, what you're going to react because this person keeps picking on you. Yeah. Like, it will literally
teach you self-control, teach you all of it. Like
my mom said, sit here and do nothing.
Yeah.
She just said, sit here, do nothing.
My kids be like, oh, but I'm bored. I'm like, being bored is good. Now you'll get in touch with your imagination. It's like,
yes!
I used to have fun even when I was punished. Like in my room, I'm playing with the little thing behind the door or something like that. Like
I tell myself, I'd be like, yo, you not know that even though because you don't have brothers and sisters, but when I used to play teacher, and it's crazy how now I'm a teacher. Yeah, I used to play teacher with my brothers. Yeah, I used to play teacher with my brothers and sisters when we had nothing to do. I used to be a doll collector. I used to you know what I'm saying? I used to play babies, dollhouse, all these other things that now kids don't do today, and they find it like, ugh. Like, what do you mean?
It's the electronics. It's funny. If you know, I know it's not okay to ask, but I'm gonna ask. How old are you?
I am 34.
34. Okay, so you got me by a little less than 5 years. So we're not that far off.
Wait, how old are you?
29. I turned 30.
Okay.
I turned 30 in June, so I'm not that far off. But
it's okay.
We're the last generation of people that like grew up without cell phones, but also was like here from the beginning of cell phones, like from your Sidekicks to Blackberries to
But what's so crazy,
iPhones.
I can't relate to what these kids, that's what I'm saying, these kids got it so good.
They got it.
So good. Why?
I think they got it hard.
I paid for my own phone.
Well,
I was 14 years old, working at a bakery. That was my weekend job.
You sound like my wife.
And listen, because when we hustlers.
Women are hustlers, for real.
Listen, when they say when you waiting for somebody else to do it, don't wait. Do it yourself.
Do it yourself, yeah.
Because it ain't going to get done right unless you do it yourself.
She said, I asked my mom one time for these pair of shoes, and she told me no. She said, I never asked again. She went out and got it. She was, no lie, in high school, she was working 2 jobs. Like,
yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing. I was working as a trade for my school because I did go back to get my GED when I was pursuing to be an artist. They felt like that was the biggest important thing when it comes to education. And that's where I knew that education was a big issue because the conversations kept being brought up in interviews and stuff like that, and I couldn't follow through.
I understand.
So that was like, ooh, what kind of example am I going to try to be or influencer? That too, that word.
Influencer? Everybody's an influencer. If you got a cell phone, you're an influencer.
That word been taken out of context.
Yes, I agree.
Beyond measures.
And that's because everybody is an influencer.
No, but
like, not everybody should be able to influence.
First of all, you shouldn't title yourself something if no one's looking up to you.
They base it off followers. They base it off subscribers.
All right, book a show. Let me see how many people gonna come.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's when you really gonna know the following that you have.
And tell them to buy tickets too.
That too. We'll see how fast.
Tell them to spend some of their money.
How fast you gonna sell out?
Yeah, I agree.
So this is why that following stuff, nah, that's not for me. I need to see you live and direct, presenting in front of me. I need to see you putting in action, live and direct. Let me see you going around this room 4 million times back and forth, putting in that work. Let me see you sweating. When I be like, what is the dedication when you see somebody having blood, sweat, and tears? What does that really mean to you? Matter of fact, let me ask you that.
They have no quit.
What is blood, sweat, and tears to you?
They don't quit.
They don't quit, no matter what obstacle runs into your course, right? You still pursue, you still do what you do.
Yes, I'm determined. I'm not quitting.
Because don't get me wrong, there's been plenty of no's. There's been plenty of door closes. There's been plenty of, I can't do this right now. There's been...
I can't do this. I wish you looked at the camera and not me when you said it. That was hilarious.
Like, it's been plenty of that, like, not at this very time.
Yeah,
not at this time right now. Not at this time right now. We could definitely, let's come back to this.
Yeah, I'll keep your number on file.
Yeah. Like, I want to see you in like 3 years. But it sucks when you see somebody when you accomplish something. Ain't that some shit?
You said it sucks?
It does, because why you didn't believe me from the beginning? Why couldn't my vision be enough for you to be like, I want to be a part of that?
Not everybody could see what's in store for you.
You're absolutely right.
Not everybody could see it. And it's hard because it be people that you know, love, and trust that cannot see it, even though they know you, even though they know you your whole life, even if they tell you that they proud of you, they still can't see it for some reason.
That's a fact. This is why I don't depend on nobody's eyes or ears.
I respect it. I
keep it pushing. I do it myself, and you see the results.
Yes,
that's all that matters.
I do want to talk about. Do It for the Youth. Where'd the idea come up? So where'd the idea come up, and how'd you manage to organize something that is growing like on a daily basis?
Listen, I take it one day at a time, and Lord is my witness. One day at a time. But again, it all starts again when I was with Central Catholic. My boy needed a ride home. That right there was like, it was concerning for me, because it's like, I'm like, okay, how did you even get here? And then the story behind it, I was like, okay, nah, this is not cool. But I saw that how much it was going to affect him because he wanted to play. Yeah. Like, it was like, you could tell. I mean, he was completely talented, like, but he had no way to get there.
But
I'm like, what?
Well, you're not only doing that, you're doing a lot of different things too.
Oh, absolutely. But that's how it all started.
Okay.
That's how it all started. It all started with having families not having a way to have our kids get there. You have working moms. You have moms that are still going to school. Right. And unfortunately, the child has to sacrifice that time because the mom don't got two bodies. I can't replace myself and be in two places at one time.
If only we could clone ourselves for the day.
If only we can.
If only.
So that's what led to that. Mm-hmm. And it grew upon time, like with taking kids to camps. It grew like, hey, you think my child could come? I'm like, yes, let's do it. Also, when it came to trying new things, when it came to basketball, going to the basketball camps, going to the basketball tryouts, again, you're testing yourself to try new things. It's all about the experience.
It's not scary for you?
It is. It's challenging for me because I never want a mother or a father to ever feel like I'm stepping on their toes. I'm here to help you. Yes. I'm here to assist because I didn't have that assistance for myself. So it's like, if you didn't have it for yourself, I would love to be that helping hand for somebody else because it's not easy. And trust me, us women, when I tell you the women are the strongest women up in here, and I say that individually because we can go through things emotionally on closed doors and we could put a bright ass fucking face and smile at you like nothing ever happened.
I agree.
But I done had a whole tantrum crying because I feel like I can't make it till tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So those are the challenging things that go behind the scenes. But this is where Do It for the Youth comes forward and filling in those gaps to make your life a little easier, not only for you, but for the child's experience in growing up.
Is this gratifying work for you?
It's gratifying, satisfying, is a sense of relief that I've done something that can be impactful to somebody else. If it's making your life a little easier, listen, I'm here for it. And it's more to it because you could be struggling in food poverty. You could be struggling within clothes. And I'm here to grasp those in that resource for you and getting that to you. Whether it's me picking it up at the wellness center or at the food pantries or at the caring place or at any other place that's selling food,
right?
I'm there. I'm going to go pick it up and I'll drop it off for you. You know what I'm saying? All come together.
That's commitment.
And this is all within Allentown. I had students that were in Bethlehem. So it's like, it don't matter where you at. We were trying to be a little bit... It works better for me working together because, I can't have kids from Bethlehem, Allentown, and then Easton, and then Reading, and it's like, it's hard.
Too many bases to cover.
It is.
Are there any other nonprofit organizations that you guys work closely with to make all this possible?
Absolutely. Like I love working with 5 Star Heart, which they work with a lot of the college athletes. Bobby is amazing. When I tell you,
you might have to connect us because I'm not familiar with Bobby.
All right, Bobby, we got to get you out there, friend.
We gotta get
he
you over
actually
here,
works
Bobby.
with the Lehigh Valley Health, and he's amazing with it. He has a 5 Star Heart Foundation where he collabs with a lot of the college athletics with being mentors to our younger youth.
Yeah.
And, to see that, listen, I got classes too that's beating me in my ass, but I'm still killing it in this field, though.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? It's a balance.
Perseverance.
It's
yeah.
a balance.
Yeah.
So this is what Do It For the Youth is about. Filling in those gaps, basically giving a sense of relief to families, and just being that mentor and that support to our youth, that somebody's there watching, somebody's there, here for comfort, somebody's there that you can, confide on. And then, of course, with working now at Casa Guadalupe Center, it allows them to now, I see you during after school.
I was about to say, I seen that program that you guys implemented for non-English speaking parents.
Yes.
And you getting them on the computer. I love that. I told my wife, I was like, hey, I think you should tell your mom about this. And she was like, Mommy's not doing that shit. But
if she actually comes
awesome.
if she actually comes, she probably get a different perspective, because a lot of the families were
she didn't want to bother her with it. I
other
think my
Spanish
mother-in-law would be cool with
mommies.
it. Yeah.
I think if she's comfortable with other Spanish mommies, trust me.
If you speak the language, she could rock. She's
Listen,
personable.
and there's always cafe and donuts ready for y'all, okay?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to show Candy this part. But I was telling her that because my wife is first generation American.
Okay.
Both her parents fresh off the boat. Her mom, sixth grade education. That was the highest she went. And she just been somebody that's putting in that pain, blood, sweat, and tears, making it happen. And she's been doing it all by herself ever since.
Wow.
And she's an awesome woman, but she still has a language barrier to some extent, and she's not very good with computers. So I was like,
that was my target audience, because I'm like, I can
she
see
fits perfect.
And I say, Mom, sorry, but my mom is, she's into that day and age where she's not computer savvy.
Yeah.
She's not into the phones like, how it is today. There's so many smartphones, smart TVs.
It's got too many capabilities at this point.
Yeah, it's like, she's like, my mom's real old school. Oh, if they could just call me and text me, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm not checking no emails.
None of that. What app? Download what?
Don't tweet me.
Download where?
Yeah.
So that I was like, okay, I see there's a situation here. There's a lot of ESL classes, but it's like they're not hands-on, meaning teaching them the step-by-step. Like, you got people that can't even log in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or what's an email? Where do I put it? Where's the passcode? So I'm not here to, again, attack you because you should know this. Let me help you.
Yeah.
Let's give into that stepping stone. So yes, I created a computer lab, which is amazing because it was supported by the AIM High grant. It's actually a New York grant.
Hey.
So it was, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to New York.
Shout out to New York.
And so it helped us assist in creating these tools. And so shout out to Mirror Resources.
Big shout out. I still have to come. I'm coming. I promise you, I'm coming. I was supposed to.
He's playing.
Listen, I'm sorry, and she knows. But like, man, I've been meaning to go over there. I want to help out with their community garden, and I have not just managed to find the time. And it got cold, so that's one of my first things I plan on doing come spring. I promise.
It's all good. It's all good. But we partnered up with them because they're a migrant organization, and I feel like in this sensitive situations that are happening now, it's the best collaboration to have. But she did have a virtual ESL class, and I was like, I want to use that. But I want to still have a hands-on, so they can get a sense of comfort in knowing how the system works.
Yeah, and some people are better in person too. Learn better.
They're better hands-on, and then whenever they feel like we were gonna do this basically as a pilot for about 6 weeks until they're comfortable on their own to still continue the course at home on their own base, and then it gives an opportunity for another person to come on in and get that assistance. Yep, and get that assistance, and then from you can still.
How are you guys letting people know that these things are being offered, not only for the adults but also for the children? Because you guys, like I said, you guys do a lot of different things.
Correct. So this is the mothers of these children. These are the families of these children
that you're serving.
We're serving first. Absolutely. We want to base your work in-house first, because how are you going to get the feedback? How are you going to get what worked, what didn't work? You know what I'm saying? So We worked in-house first. I basically built this pilot to be in-house first. We're going to serve the kids that we are already serving today, which that needs assistance, which they will be staying an extra hour with just learning the Spanish, learning English. So you already had a little bit of the after-school program, and then when your parents come in, your mom or your dad, which is surprising, a lot of the dads. Shout out to the dads. The dads are outside.
I told you. We're here.
My class was full of dads, and it was amazing to see. But again, it is an amazing image to see the dads, no matter how old you are, you will still step into that, uncomfortable stage where I'm going back into my learning pose. And
because
it's a pride
hard.
thing.
Yeah, I was about to say it's hard to be like, hey,
My
I should know
manhood
this,
just
but
got
I don't.
shut.
But I don't know this.
I gotta show my kid I'm going back to school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's okay, because you're showing your child that it's never too late. I could be 80 still trying to learn English.
Yes.
It don't matter. Shit. But in reality, I know the kids might hate me a little bit for this, but I mainly did it because a lot of our parents are not being informed with school stuff, and a lot of it is going through their laptops.
Yes.
So my mom can't get into my email. My dad can't get into my email.
Do shit.
I can't read it. I'm not going to show her Google Translate.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no. So the focus is to teach our parents how to maneuver the tablet and how to go into their student portals, how to get into their teacher communication, how to be more informed of what's going on in the school. A lot of our parents don't even know their children's grades. Yeah. And that's because you're not sitting down with your parent. Come on, what child would though?
Yeah, especially if you're not doing something you're proud of.
Exactly. Sure. I'm not showing you my report card.
You're gonna have to find this.
What? My mama don't gotta sign it no more? What? And that's one thing that I respect with my son's school. They still bring those report cards home. They need to have it signed. That means that your child saw it.
The one thing I do like, I'll give Allentown School District, at least at Moser, they give you the report card when you come to the parent-teacher conference.
Oh.
I like that.
They want to see you.
Yeah, they want to see us, So
no, now in my son's school, they be like, if you want to visit.
That happened for the first time since my eldest son has been in school. He's in 4th grade now. And we just did our first virtual one ever since COVID.
Oh, okay.
So, COVID, we had no choice. But now he was like, listen, you don't have to come in. Your son's doing great. I'll send it through the portal. I was like, you saved me a trip.
Yeah, I mean, listen, but when they do request that visit, that's when your ass is concerned.
Yes. And we should be there. And parents, we need to be there. We need to not only to be on top of what our children are doing and how they're progressing, but also as a show of support that I'm invested in what you're doing.
Yes. Listen, let me tell you something. And I speak as a little girl. And of course, my mom wasn't really much involved in our shows. I mean, it was a lot of us. It's 5 of us. Imagine going to different shows.
Yeah. It's a lot of extracurriculars.
But I understood how much it impacted me growing up, though. I mean, and then I see it now from what I've witnessed going into supporting some of the youths in their shows, which I've included that also as well at our after school program. With I see one of our students is having a show, we're going to create a trip. We're going to go and watch your show.
I love it. I love it.
We're going to watch your show. I feel like it's only right. It's only right. Not only, and it becomes more meaningful when you have the support from other students. Why? Because that's the uncommon thing. You're unexpected to see that. Yeah. You're not like, I didn't know my friend was gonna be out here. I know. Ain't that surprising? Ain't that some shit?
Yeah.
So
lifelong memories.
It was definitely, as when I was growing up, I saw when at times I look at the audience and it's like, who's here for me? So I put that back and I reflect into it and I'd be like, I could imagine what that child feels when they're literally in the choir or they're playing an instrument for the first time and they want to show their parents or somebody that's just there for them to support and they know that they're there. And I can see their faces when we're in the audience. And you know me, I come with a squad. Yeah. So
she loud.
I am loud. I'm loud. Yeah, listen, I'll pull up to the blocks like that. You should see.
Hey.
Shout out to my girl, Nicole.
Let it be known.
Listen, I'll pull up New York style. Listen, no problem.
Yeah.
So, and you see, like, you got a group of kids right here, and I'm over here. I'm like this, like trying to get your attention, like we here. But as soon as you that face, like that, the eyes glow up, like, and you could tell, like in their minds, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm about to fucking kill it right now.
Yeah.
I'm about to kill it."
It's the battery in the back.
Yeah,
It's the battery
like,
in the
oh,
back.
somebody's watching me now.
And it don't change either. That's the one thing. Like, I played football all throughout my life. I played flag football in the adult league in the local area. When my mom comes to the games, I'm trying to show out.
Yeah,
I'm trying to show her. I might be 29 years old, but it's the little boy who's out there. It's not 29-year-old Eric with 3 of his own kids.
Awesome. But on some real though, that also matters during practices.
Yes.
It matters.
Yes.
It actually matters more in
because
practices.
That's where they fail the most.
Correct.
Yes.
And then it's like when they trying to get up and you got the coach screaming at them. Sometimes that sense of, you're going to be good. You're going to be fine.
Yeah.
All right? Just have that repeated over it. Sometimes when your parent is not there, all you're hearing is screams.
Yeah.
All you're hearing is scream, 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 scream. Yeah. Do it. Go do it. Go do it. Whereas I heard the coach. I heard him. We got it. You need to do this. All right? I know you can. It's a different tone of voice that it comes. I don't know. It comes through.
It's also, it's love attached to it too. Sometimes I remember being as a kid, like, yo, I feel like the coach don't like me.
Especially if it's your first year going in, you be like, that's all
daunting.
you're going to be feeling.
Yeah, that's daunting.
Because you don't know the relationship that you have with the coach. The coach don't even know you like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, who really got me? Who got me out here? Because if he don't know me and he's willing to leave without even letting me know that if somebody's here for me, that was another thing too. Like that was like just a killer. Like everybody leaves and it's just like, okay, this kid still don't have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Like,
nah, you don't never leave the kids.
What's going on?
You don't never leave the kids.
What's going on?
We one time last year I coached over at the Bethlehem Raiders, and we had a kid. His mother went to Dominican Republic, left him with a neighbor, and he was staying home by himself. And the neighbor didn't know what time his football practice ended. And this kid, we were searching high and low to find an adult to take him. Ultimately, the head coach took him home, and he stayed with him the whole week until his parent got back.
Wow.
How you get your plane and leave your child here with somebody that doesn't even know his damn schedule?
Again, this is this generation.
I was like,
cause listen, half of these things, I'll be like, how does this little girl walking by herself? Like, I'll be like, how did you get here by yourself?
yeah.
Half of the time I'll be like, okay, y'all got too much leniency.
That kind of scares me sometimes.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Bruh, so many things has been happening.
You read all these stories, you see all these every year, how many kids go missing, and then you just hope and pray it's not gonna be one of the kids that you know.
Nah. But again, like this is what Do It for the Youth supports. Do It for the Youth supports the child throughout, no matter. Listen, I still got the same child within 4 years. So this is the bond that we build throughout the years. It ain't like, oh, 1 year, okay, I'm gonna make sure that you accomplish this, and then I say I give up on you.
Yeah.
No. I'm with you throughout the whole year. Within the school year, I put them in the camp with Fine Feather. Shout out to Andreen.
Big shout out to Fine Feather.
Like that's been the camp, that's the go-to camp.
That makes me feel good that you said that. I'm part of a committee. Nobody knows it, but I'm part of a grant making committee where we do it for nonprofits. And Fine Feather was one of the people I advocated for to get them the grant this year. Yeah. I also
wait a minute, isn't that 250,000 grant?
Yeah, it is that. That's
Costa Guadalupe definitely gained them to that grant as well. We did the press conference ads.
I bid on them to get there too.
Okay.
I was telling my wife, I was like, it's really cool to be part of these things. I was like, it sucks that people don't know that I'm part of this.
It was behind the scenes because look, I would have never known that.
But yeah, I'm part of that. We're actually giving out the next round real soon.
That's
and we got another
amazing.
200K coming soon, so we're gonna be giving out those grants. I'm trying to get some more money for what is it? CMI. They do like yoga and mindfulness practices. I'm trying to get them a little bit more money.
Yes,
because they took it into the schools. They work with the teachers and the students, and they had for amongst the students that participated, which was 2,500 students in the Allentown School District, they had a 93% success rate with them.
Amazing.
And at least 73% of those kids are using it actively on their daily basis. And for the teachers, it was like 90% that are actively using it on their daily basis in their workplace. So it felt really good to be like I said, it sucks to know that not many people knew at the time. Well, people don't know, but I was like, yo, this feels awesome to
see the outcome. You saw the results.
You give the money to the right people doing the boots on the ground, and they do dope shit with the money.
Yes.
And I told my wife, I was like, reading through all those forms, like I had 80 pages to read through. It's a lot of reading.
It is. But In the beginning, do you felt a little bit discouraged, like, oh, this is too much work?
For me, it was like, am I the right person to be deciding where all this money is going? Like, because I don't know every person that runs these organizations. I just get to read the questionnaire that we give them. I get to like watch the videos they send us, and then I have to like go out and I do my own personal research. I'll get on Facebook and I'll check out Casa Guadalupe, and I'll check out Fine Feather, and I'm just seeing, like, are you active? How many, like, who are you? What kind of demographic are you actually supporting? How many new things are you doing throughout this year before the next re-up on money?
Yes.
So I know, like, oh, I only seen you do 2 after school things. Don't make it seem like on this renewal for the new money, you was doing a lot. I've been watching.
No, but being at Casa Guadalupe definitely gave me the platform.
They're doing a lot of good shit too.
It gave me the platform to not only collaborate with other organizations, it gave a sense of, especially those that are starting up, like International Cultural Festival is
Big
coming
shout
into
out
Michelle. I love you.
She's a dope individual too.
That is a what? She is amazing.
Yes.
And the work that she does, she puts other organizations under her belt.
Yes.
That supports and highlights. And again, she's the behind the scenes kind of gal.
You'll never know.
But when I tell you she is the star on that motherfucking tree,
yeah.
let me tell you, we all ornaments.
Yes. She's dope. And when she came on the podcast, I had her on the podcast like a couple months ago.
That, yep.
And, just learning her story, I'm like, damn, man, you probably should have quit a long time ago. I'll be honest. Like, the amount of stuff you've overcome is impressive.
Exactly. But nothing
and
stopped
she's a
her.
woman. And she's a woman. And I never want to discount that, because women, they don't have the same struggles as us men. Like, your struggles are a hell of a lot harder in many aspects, just for the simple fact that people think they could get over on y'all because y'all women. So
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm more in between the men too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
we got our struggles.
You got our struggles. I feel like
struggles.
women, y'all be the manipulation to be crazy. And I'm a woman, so that's what I'm saying. I'm speaking. Listen. I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle.
Yeah, you got a nice little vantage point.
I'm in the middle. I could be a little rough on the edges too. You know what I'm saying?
We actually hit the hour. We're actually a minute over, and it's so crazy. There's like 3 things we didn't get to. I do want to talk about the hill you picked to die on. Do you remember what it was?
The what?
I asked you in the questionnaire, pick a hill that you're willing to die on. Do you remember what your answer was?
No.
Okay. So you said nothing fancy about grits, just not my cup of tea. You don't like grits?
I do not.
You do not like.
I am more of the little boy with the spoon that was in the white box.
Farina? Farina?
Farina is the best with the cinnamon stick.
It's cream of wheat. It's not farina. It's cream of wheat.
No.
Black dude on the box.
Yes. Uncle.
First of all, it's a white boy.
Uncle Ben.
On the box.
He's a white boy in the box.
With blue letters.
Let him know. Wifey knows.
That's the Spanish. That's the Spanish version of cream of wheat.
So grits is the black version of breakfast.
I'm not even that big of a fan of grits,
I
but
don't
I'll fuck some
understand
grits
it.
up.
Don't get me wrong, and I tried it. So you can't even say, "Oh, don't knock it until you try it."
What, like, in what fashion? Was it sweet or salty?
It was dry.
You didn't get good grits though.
Maybe I didn't. Maybe the because again, it depends on who's making it.
Yes. That's a big, like,
So-
it gotta have that. It gotta have like that.
I'm sorry, but I saw a lot of
almost.
packaged cheese. Like, I'm like, what are you doing?
Nah.
I'm like,
You gotta
we
go
get
with the
sliced
grated-
cheese from the deli.
No. Grated cheddar. You got.
I'm sorry, guys.
You
I'm
could
sorry.
throw some shrimp in there.
No, okay. So the way we'll call I was like, okay, I could do a catfish. Okay, catfish and grits,
Banging.
but. No, the grits is not compatible with the catfish.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I fucks with some grits, but it all depends on who's making it. I'm not cooking grits in the crib. I typically only get them when I go out if they got it on the menu, and it got to be like a featured meal.
And it's like not watered down.
Yeah. I'll tell you a great place. You want some good grits? You got to go out to Philly. It's next to Drexel. It's called Sabrina's Cafe.
Okay.
It's shrimp and grits. They also have really, really good chicken and waffles. All
Okay.
right? Sabrina's Cafe. If you're in the area,
Wifey confirmed.
yo, legit best shrimp and grits I've ever had. So,
Okay, I'm just like, I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna kill you over that one, because I it's not like I'm out here
I'm
eating
a true
grits on the regular.
I'm a true Hispanic. I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican.
Okay.
So like grit is not It's not even in our menu.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's the culture.
Sorry, not sorry, because that shit is just not cutting it. I'm sorry. Now, if you listen, if you put a farina and you put grits, trust and believe. Don't even tell them what is what. Don't say grit or farina. Let them taste it.
Grits have like they look a little bit bigger than farina.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
We need to put that. Listen, let's petition that. All right, everybody. A grits and farina competition at Dope Individuals. We're gonna see.
Well, let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. We're gonna see. Listen, our best grit and our best farina. Who got it? Let us know.
Are there any final things that you want to say to the people? Any shout outs? Any last takeaways you want for the people to hear?
Well, I want to shout out again Michelle, because she's been very impactful this year in 2024, and we have continuing a lot going on in 2025, which we will be having our students cooking. We'll have our students with financial literacy. We'll have our students. Yes, I'm so excited for that.
I love the financial literacy too.
Yes. Shout outs to Valley Wealth Alliance, where we have it on deck. My girl Jasmine, she's definitely been killing it within the schools. Shout out to Jacinth.
Big shout out.
You know, she just had her movie premiere. She just dropped a movie, Yes, Love After Holidays, which is so amazing. But she's been a tremendous impact when it comes to building encouragement for our students, especially those that are now residing in the Allentown area, or should I say in the States.
Yeah.
And we want to build that confidence for our students to be more involved in school, to be more involved into curricular activities that they are shy to even, hey, I want to try that. Because, of course, because of the language barriers, a lot of our students are shy to speak because of how they sound and how the vocabulary is coming out.
See, that's why I be scared to speak Spanish, because I be scared of looking ridiculous.
But I'd rather sound ridiculous in Spanish than sound ridiculous in English, because it sounds so crazy. I'd be like, eh? What? And you don't want to make them feel uncomfortable. They'd be like, say it to me one more time. Yeah. Just one more time.
Una más.
So, doing the short film that we did, we basically promoted the entrepreneurship they created their own fast food creativity, which was, uncommon foods that, like pizza apple. You bite off of an apple, it tastes the flavors of pizza. The micro bobs, where you have a cheeseburger, a drumstick, and some pork rinds. I don't know. It's all in one stick.
Yeah.
And then you have the
pork rinds is crazy. I haven't had pork rinds in mad long.
And it was like, another one was Cookie Bell. Which you have all types. You can have different types of stuff on top of your cookie. It's like a cookie on steroids, basically. But the whole point was basically the projection of it was to present it. How can you present it? How can you convince me that your food is delicious? Like, I can buy this. It tastes so good.
Sell it.
Yeah, how can you sell it to me? So they did short commercials, which they got all implemented into one small commercial. But the whole purpose of that was to step out of your comfort zone. Do something that you've never done before, was being in front of a camera, being with a mic, and learning lines that you had to memorize among yourself. And of course, body language. Body language speaks for you. So it's learning expression. When I say you're looking sad, put a sad face on. Why are you still smiling? Why are you smiling at me with that stuck, like, with the serious pause? Like, it'd be crazy. But again, the results, because how they came in is definitely not how they left.
How they leave out,
I mean, if you look at the transition, go into my Instagram, Do It For The Youth,
Make sure you go follow.
Yes, follow. You will see the video that I posted up, that basically how they started, which is with the circle amongst themselves, introducing themselves, and then how they ended, which was literally have a little scene, because again, it's about experience. The experience is having the lights on you, having the camera flashing, action.
Yeah.
That feeling is a complete, the adrenaline is like, all right, you ready? I'm ready.
Shit. Here we go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
It's my moment. So, and then you pushing them like, yeah, you can do it. Just to see the outcome. I can't wait to see the results. Jacinth, I'm waiting for that video. I can't wait to see how it turned out.
Make sure you tag me. I'll make sure I share it.
Yes.
And Jacinth, I emailed you. I'm still waiting.
She's busy, okay?
Yeah, I know. She got a lot of shit going on.
She is promotion. She is in her element right now.
This is my reminder.
Listen, we know a star.
Nah,
Okay,
she's gonna facts.
we know a star.
She's gonna be helping me publish my first book. So
Yes!
yeah, I'm really excited about it.
She is running her little production program. So
Yeah,
you are in the right hands, honey.
Yes.
You are in the right hands. But these are people that I love working with because they are making drastic measures in the community. I mean, there's other organizations that, of course, that I would love to highlight, but those are the ones that I've been like intertwined, literally back to back.
There's so many people out here doing good work that like it's hard to name everybody, but like we see you and we support you.
We see you. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
We see you and
Absolutely.
support you. And the final words?
Listen. I appreciate all of my supporters. I appreciate all the future that we have, the envision that we have come up with. I look forward to the new year. And of course, let's get it going. Football season is up and running. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
We're about to get our boots dirty again. Let's go. Muddy cars.
Well, listen, I want to say thank you. I appreciate all the work that you're doing in the community for the kids. I want to say thank you for being part of the community I'm building here at Dope Individuals Only Podcast.
Yes.
And I keep that shit up.
I'm honored.
My wife and I, we're going to be, I owe you an apology.
Why?
Because we were supposed to get the box, like when you extended the sports gear, we were supposed to get on it and we didn't prioritize it.
It's okay.
So
there's always the next year.
I want to be a part of the things that you're doing because we believe in it. We want to be part of the things that you're doing so because we believe in it.
That.
So listen, this is the first real conversation we've had.
Yes.
Definitely not the last. I promise you.
It's not. Listen, again, there's certain things that I didn't know that you got your hands on. I'm like, okay. We definitely, the Sports Gear Drive, it highlights a lot of the materials that our students will need throughout the year.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make that a little different. We didn't want to collect toys and bears that was going to get literally dusted on your bed. Yeah, we wanted mouthpieces. We wanted, those are the essential things that happen on
Cleats
a yearly. Use cleats too. If they're in good condition, they could still be passed on.
Exactly.
My son grew out his feet within a year and I'm like, damn.
My son went through 3 sizes in a span of a year.
That's crazy.
From like literally 1, 2, and 3. He's in a 3 now.
Yeah, and then
all last year.
Keeping them active is they're stretching. They're growing.
And it's more expensive.
You know, yeah. And it's also with sports gears like, shorts and clothing for practice, because when I tell you are not damaging a sweater that I bought for school, it'd be crucial. Yes. That laundry list be crazy.
And y'all stink.
Listen, no. There's a difference between a hygiene stink and a stink of being athletic.
Yeah, y'all funky as hell. Y'all shoulder pads stink. Your gloves stink. I'm gonna let
this be known now. If you come in my car and it smells funky, it wasn't me. Okay, it was the children that come in with the hot box.
Yeah, facts.
They be hot boxing it heavy, but it's part of the season. Though.
Nasty. Got the windows fogging up. All that funk.
But I appreciate you for having me here. I
course.
appreciate you for being the eyes and the ears out in the community, for setting this this stepping stone to get our word out there and what we've done. So I commend you for that too as well, brother.
Hey, it's a collective effort. We all rolling in the same direction.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, listen, I want to thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for listening. Shoot for the moon. If you miss, you still amongst the stars. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
I've been on my grind just to live it out. Say what's on your mind just to hear it loud. Everybody knows me, really that's the old me. Going through some changes right here and now. I've been on my grind just to live it out. Say what's on your mind just to hear it loud. Everybody knows me, really that's the old me. Going through some changes right here and now. I've been on my grind just to live it out. Say what's on your mind just to hear it loud. Everybody knows me, really that's the old me.